different components to that result into a very different experience, so a very different animal. Marcel already provided the definition for hybrid events. We define it as a meeting that combines a live in-person event with a virtual component. So you would need a live meeting like this one with a virtual event happening at the same time. So talking more about the virtual aspect of these meetings, what is the virtual technology that is available? What are the types? How can I measure the effect of my virtual or my hybrid event? Why am I going to organize a hybrid event if my live event is already successful? All these questions are very important. Think about the fact that a virtual event is a gathering of people sharing a common online virtual environment. In that sense, there are different types of virtual events. So how many of you use Skype, WhatsApp, or an instant message communication tool? Okay, in that sense, you are already engaging in a virtual event. And many of you engage in virtual events every day. It's just that we may not define it as such. So there are virtual events like that, and there are virtual events like Second Life, which is a simulation. You create a virtual character and you actually go to a conference like a little person on a screen. So some people attend a conference that way. It is something called Second Life. It's real. You can Google it if you want. Virtual events may have a face-to-face component, so something like this, and they may not have a face-to-face component at all, so they may happen virtually, completely. So we have different types of virtual events. I've already talked about the Skype meetings. We've got webinars, so you get a login and a password, you go in, and sometimes you listen to a presenter, and sometimes that presenter is going through a set of slides. So that would be a webinar, or you may receive a training about how to do something specifically. That is also a virtual event. Pod events are events that we may have a core event here, and then you have proxy events happening around the world or around the country. So you may have an event where all the speakers are in the same place, and then you just have an audience spread in different countries, but you also may have speakers in many places, and you are broadcasting that information at the same time. And that's why you need Marcel services to make that happen. The first case study that I want to present to you, have any of you heard of the Gold Lactation Online Conference? Anyone? No? Okay, good. The Gold Lactation Online Conference is a very interesting conference. The first time we saw this brief, we were surprised to see something about lactation. We hadn't heard of lactation before. The thing about lactation consultants is that they are a very particular sector. They may not have a lot of money. So why do they organize this event completely online? It's a completely virtual conference. The first reason is because of cost. They don't have the resources to be traveling around. They don't have the resources to simply pay for hotels. The nature of the job that they do simply puts them in this position. They don't have a lot of time. They have to be attending to clients and to moms. They are breastfeeding experts, so in that sense, that keeps them really busy. And it's just generally convenient for them to attend a conference that happens completely online. So whenever they have the time, or at the scheduled time that the conference is happening, and then later on, whenever they have the time, they can revise the content for this conference. So this is a group that is very open to this type of offering. This is the website of the Gold Lactation Conference. So it's got registrations, abstracts, testimonials, and all the same elements that a normal live conference would have. This is us setting up the registration site, and it's got all the same concepts about you collecting CPDs and CMEs as well. I can tell you how that happens in that sense. This is just to give you an idea of the price structure that they set for their delegates. So this is in dollars. That's early bird and regular, and you have 3 different country categories. So depending where you come from, you have a different price attached to that. As you can see, it becomes really affordable for these people to attend the conference at this price range. At the same time, there is live support. So if you're having an online conference like this one, it is very important that you have support online ready for them if they may have any issues regarding the registration or how to submit an abstract. So that is very important there. You have virtual exhibitors. So your exhibition becomes very interesting. How do you provide a space for your sponsors and your exhibitors to offer the products to this type of audience? So you need to make that very clear on the website. I'm going to show you later on how you can do that with an interactive floor plan. And the gold experience is based on these 8 basic features. So having a very good conference schedule, they have something called live days. So they have live sessions happening all the time, and they have live staff, and they have live attendees. And even though it's not necessarily what we call live, they are making the whole virtual event becomes a very real life experience. They have a good delegate area where people are able to have their schedule, to also download the certificates and interact on forums with other people. Interacting in this case becomes really important if it's all happening online. They can also view the presentations. The organizers are able to verify attendance so they can later download their certificates. Engaging and interacting happens at the participant to participant level, and you can also interact with speakers. They also offer an annual membership. So if you are just attending if you're just attending the conference, then there is also the possibility for you to become a member, or for you to attend multiple events after this. So they market this event really well, and they market the future events in a very good way. There are also lecture packs, and I already mentioned the technical support. These are some of the stats of the conference: 2,000 delegates, 50 plus countries, 97% said they will return next year, so they have a really high return rate. Live sessions have an average of 55 to 150 attendees. You can see the stats for their Facebook and Twitter pages, and I've already talked about cost.